POC Network here with another unboxing, this time coming from the company Lytmi, a company we recently actually covered with another one of their products. But what this is the Lytmi Immersive ARGB Backlight for Windows PC monitors. And it's similar to the product we covered recently, which was called the Lytmi Neo. And like the Lytmi Neo, this adds an immersive RGB experience behind your screen. In this case, instead of a TV, it's behind a monitor. Similar to some of your ambient light sources, but this is a full color spectrum that's running around your screen that actually interacts with what's on it. And it works with any monitor between 17 and 55 inches. It attaches to the back of the monitor via the sides and the top. And it provides that aura surround around the screen so that you can get that same effect that you get from the Neo, but with your gaming monitor. Only instead of using HDMI, or at least intercepting the HDMI signal of the TV, for the TV model, to determine the colors running around the screen, it uses USB, because it doesn't need HDMI. With USB, it's able to determine all of this, plus give the user control over the LED strip running around the back of the screen, allowing you to change the modes and or interact with other maybe devices that Lytmi might plan to add into their portfolio in the future. Similar to a lot of the software you find with other companies like Asus and Cooler Master and anything else that allows you to control RGB lighting in your computer setup. It also offers multi-monitor support, which does require multiple strips though, but it allows you to be able to put a strip on each and every single one of your monitors to combine them all together for one large experience. And all you have to do is get your hands on the downloadable Lytmi software that brings all of this together so that you can configure it to whatever your needs may be. And they can also be controlled via an inline remote control. This remote allows the user to be able to switch between modes, just like the software, only not as complex. It's kind of more simpler, just with a few buttons. You can switch between modes in terms of, interacting with the colors around the screen, or simply setting it to music mode so they can interact with music that's playing on your computer. Kind of a party mode. And it probably does have a party mode in the application. But you can switch between some of these options using that remote control that's built in for a more simpler kind of an instant access if you don't want to dig into the software at any given time. This is also more affordable than the TV version as well. They come in 3 different versions of the kit. You have a $39 kit, a $49 kit, and a $99 kit. And each kit covers a specific range of monitors. The $39 kit covers 17 to 30 inches, the $49 kit covers 31 to 42 inches, and the $99 kit covers 43 to 55 inches. So you have 3 options to choose from, and you want to make sure that it really matches up to whatever the size of monitor that you have, or monitors if you have multiple monitors, in which case, again, you're going to have to get one of these for every single one of those monitors, and that would get kind of expensive really fast. But it does work with large monitors, small monitors, whatever the case may be. You can run this around a curved, large 32-inch screen or 42-inch screen, 43-inch screen like the LG, and it'll work, and it's affordable. For the most part. I mean, compared to what's out there in terms of some of the competing companies that get way too expensive for these ARGB solutions, and also compared to their TV model, which does, it gets expensive. It's all post $100. But that's another story, and we may even provide a link to that in the description below if you want to check out our previous story covering the Lytmi Neo. But for now, we're going to cover just the one for PC computers, at least their monitors, and we're going to start by opening this box up and seeing what it comes with, and then we'll do a demonstration to show you what it looks like. Now, the first thing you come across is the instructions. They're right at the top, so that way you can just immediately dig into this and see, okay, how am I going to use this? How's this going to work? Instead of just like picking through these parts going, what's this do? You can go straight to the instructions and determine, okay, so we have light, we have a plug that plugs into the wall, and we have a USB cable. And the light plugs into the controller. You have 3 lines coming out of the controller. And that inline controller is what I told you gives you some external access to controlling some of your light features. So you have 3 lines. One shoots out and hooks to a cable that runs to a wall adapter. One hooks to actually it's just built in USB that runs to your computer. And then the other one plugs into the light strip, which can be cut to size to your screen, which is something we'll cover in just a moment. But first, this is one of those lines coming out of the inline controller. This is your wall adapter. It does have a removable adapter here, so if you do decide that you want to take this on the road with you and go to Europe or anything, I'm sure you can get these adapters from Lytmi if you want to adapt to other power standards. And then you have your inline controller, and with those 3 cables I was telling you about. So one goes to the power adapter, One goes, which I believe that was the right one. Yep, this one goes to your power adapter. This one goes to your LED strip. And then this one goes to your USB port on your computer. You can use any USB port. It's just some basic data transferring back and forth. It's not actually sending video to the LED strip. It's just ARGB data to match whatever's going around the screen, and this is able to keep up with it. And then you have your 3 buttons right here that allow you to control between the different functions. That first one right here turns it on and off. This middle one here just shows an icon of a color palette, so you can switch between colors. And this one right here is brightness, it looks like, which is probably just the brightness of the strip to take it up or down, and or switch between, I'm sure, modes. Either one of those will probably do that. And then on the back side here, they have some double-sided 3M sticky pads here, so that way you can actually just stick it to your desk for whatever reason. You may or may not want to do that. I don't know how you'd feel about sticking things like that to your desk, but if that's okay, if that's kosher to you, or if you want to stick it to the wall or anywhere else, that gives you the option to do so. Or maybe the bottom of the desk, maybe if you just want to reach down and change the colors from below. Then you have some of your tracks. Now these are some of your straight tracks, it looks like. Just pull all these out. And just like the TV, you have 2 different versions of these. So we should find some corners in here as well, which I believe is probably in the content list. Content list is here. Yep, you got two corners, which is perfect because again, it's going around the sides and the top of the back of the monitor. So these are going to be the straight ones. It just kind of sticks to the back of the monitor like this for the top and the sides, and this allows you to run the strip through. So the strip itself isn't actually attaching to your monitor. It's just these little adapters. So these are the straight ones, so you probably want 2 on the top and 2 on each side. And then for the corners, you have these, which are exactly the same ones that they use for the TV. These are the exact same ones. Now, something to note, you may or may not run into this, but if you have a curved display, if this doesn't sit perfectly flat on your screen, you might have issues. We ran into that in our installation of the demo of the Neo, where the LED strips just the strip kept falling off the TV because these had to be bent a little bit to contour to the shape of the back end of the TV. These kept falling off. It's unfortunate. Then it would drag the straight ones off with them, and it's just a complete mess. Now you just have the spaghetti noodle falling all over the place. The way of getting around that is just use some really high-end double-sided tape, your own, that you find to be a lot more effective than this 3M VHB double-sided pads that the company provides you with. These aren't really as good as they look, and really it's not really falling off the TV so much as it falls off the actual pieces of plastic, these molded plastic pieces, which we find happens a lot in 3D printing as well. You got to rough them up, to sometimes get some of those double-sided, sticky tape or pads to stick to some of your 3D creations. So that's something that Lytmi might want to consider in the future. Work on this, make sure that you put a lot of weight on these and maybe heat up the room or something to see how well these double-sided sticky pads remain on these little plastic pieces and or the TV, and determine if you might want to package these with, better double-sided pads or tape in the future. But for now, it might be on you to be able to do that, or just to do that. So if you find that to be an issue, just use double-sided, just really strong double-sided tape, maybe Gorilla Tape, or Sure tape makes double-sided carpet tape. It kind of has like a blue kind of a plastic covering that runs around the tape that sticks to it to protect it as you're unrolling it off. It is incredibly strong. It might work really good for this, although it might be hard to get back off if you ever try to take these off of your screen. But something to keep in mind, it's the only downfall that we ran into so far because the one on the TV is absolutely fantastic. We absolutely loved it. So covering that, we have the final piece. This is the LED actual tape, which I believe, I can't remember which model we have. I think this is going to be long enough for whichever screen we choose to run this with. It doesn't exactly say how long. It does not, but I have faith that this will work. We're going to set this up on probably a 27-inch screen, I believe it was, just to see what it looks like and pair it to some content to see how it interacts with everything on the screen. And then we'll see what it looks like between different modes, such as, mimicking, again, everything around the screen and or using music mode, party mode, or just general ambient colors. If you just want white or purple, or you just want static colors to switch between, you can do that as well. Of course, if that's all you need, then you might want to go with a more affordable model because this is meant for much more than that. Again, this is more for interacting with the color around the screen. With that in mind, let's go see what it looks like. So what we've done here is we installed the LED strip on a 27-inch Samsung gaming monitor. Now we just randomly grabbed the first monitor we came across as we were walking up to one of the demo rooms here where we test a lot of this stuff, but the monitor has the LED tape running around the back. We installed it starting from the right side of the back side and ran it up the side, up the top, and around the other side, where we then used the cut lines on the LED tape to determine where we're supposed to cut and end the LED tape. When you first turn on the LED tape, it sends a light signal all the way around the tape until it finds the end and determines the size of the monitor from there. So what I did is I actually have the software right here pulled up on the computer. It's really simple. You have your scenes selection, which gives you your different options between what mode it's in. Right now it's on movie mode, so it's going to interact with what's on the screen with this awesome mature 17 plus rated M for violence and gore and stuff. But movie mode will give you that aura going around the screen in a moment. Like up here, you can see right here as I hover over these two options on the top, the LED lights interacting on the back end. And it's going to do so with everything that's going on the screen on the edges. Now, if you want out of that and you just want special effects, you can go to music. And this enables music mode, and it interacts with what's going on in the room audio-wise, in which case, this case, it's my voice. So I'm going to save you the torture, really, of having to deal with me singing or any beatboxing that might be going on, so you'll just have to deal with the bass of my voice to determine what it looks like when it's in party mode, or at least music mode. I call it party mode. Now you have three options at the bottom here to determine how it interacts with the voice. If I click here, it's just more of as you can see, color changes with what's going on in the room. And then you have this one, which is more of a pulse, kind of a beat that's going on using the colors. And then, of course, the middle one, which is more of a strobe effect, for if you want a little bit more of an energetic effect going across the screen. And then you have mood. Now the mood option here brings you to some of the similar settings. All of these settings are similar to the TV version of this, the Lytmi Neo, but this is just the software version of it. So instead of using the app on your phone, you're using the software on your PC. You can switch between all the modes. So you got rainbow, you got fire, you got reading mode just to help you read. Or you can just turn on the light in the room. You have fireworks, you have star options, drip, you have particle, you have flow, which we like. We like the rainbow and flow a lot. The flow one alone is very relaxing, and you can change the color to the flow as well by playing with these colors down here and or playing around with this color wheel however you like. You just keep changing between all these colors. Then you have ball, which is more like just a bouncing basketball on both sides of the screen. You have a swing effect, which really just hits the top. You have a breathe, which is you'd find familiar with just about any LED lighting out there from MSI or any other company, including obviously Lytmi. Breathing just gives you that nice slow pulse effect to have a dramatic kind of appeal to your setup. And then you have pure. Pure is simply that. It's just light. Unlike the reading mode is just white. This allows you to change it to any color that your heart desires. So if you want any of these colors, you just set it up however you want and just say, that's it, all I want is this. But again, if all you're ever planning to do is just change the colors like this and keep it at a static color, then you're gonna wanna go with a more affordable LED strip that's just a basic RGB LED light strip for the back of your monitor, because you pick one of those up for probably 20 bucks. This is meant for much more than that. This is meant for special effects because it's ARGB lighting, so it can actually change the color all throughout the strip as it's running around, where a normal LED strip is just all or none. So in this case, you're graduating from those normal LED strips to something a lot more immersive, a lot more interactive. Now, back to music and then back to movie. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna play a trailer here of Elden Ring, the game everybody's been excited about, and show you how it interacts with everything on the screen. So as you can see here, it's already interacting with everything on the screen. We have the intensity down to just kind of default, so it's not too crazy. This really depends on user preference, because you might find that if it's a little bit more intense, it might be irritating to your eyes. You might want to slow it down so it's not as sensitive. That all depends on you. But so far, it's looking pretty good. It's interacting with the colors on the screen. and it's going to do so throughout everything that you're playing. Now keep in mind, this is something good to point out, the colors of the LED strip and the colors on the monitor aren't 100%, and this is okay. This is okay because we accidentally forgot to calibrate this monitor before doing this. So the colors on this monitor are actually set for something else that we were using it for last, whatever that may have been. So the brightness of the monitor is kind of down right now, and the colors on the screen are set for something else. So it's not really set to be accurate using any kind of Adobe color profile or anything else that would really give us more accurate color. So if the screen was more accurate in terms of colors on the screen, you'd see a little bit more accuracy between the light or between the color of what's on the monitor and what's in the video. So now what I've done to give a little bit more of a color representation, since that game is technically a little dark, I just wanted to show the difference between, you know, or give you an idea at least of what it looks like when you have a lot of blacks in the image and then color popping up out of nowhere. The transition between colors and no colors was pretty good, but now we're looking at something that's a lot more bright, a lot more vivid. Again, keep in mind the monitor is not calibrated, that was all our fault, but you can at least see how quick and accurate it's trying to react to everything on the screen, and it's doing a pretty good job. It looks fantastic, it looks nice, and again, if we calibrated the colors on the screen, they're going to match a lot better to what we see in the LED lights. And once again, keep in mind that it is specifically interacting with the colors on the edge of the screen, not everything in the image. It just, as the image is reaching the, or whatever the colors are reaching the edge of the monitor, it bleeds off onto the LED lights and onto your wall. So it's like kind of extending the image past the borders of the monitor. And it looks fantastic. So the software is very intuitive. The LED strip effect is a lot of fun. It really is nice. It takes a lot of stress out of your eyes, and the price point's pretty good. Again, for starting at a $39 starting point, working its way up to $99, but the average user is going to be between $39 and $49. Or this is a pretty good option. And there you have it. This is a pretty cool looking LED strip with plenty of control and software that allows you to really dive into some configurations that might be updatable, adjustable in the future with further products. Maybe if they just, you know, if they come out with a whole line of LED, actually I think they do have LED lighting outside of this for the PC, but regardless, if they don't, they will come out with other options, I'm sure, and that software will bring everything together and or maybe interact with some of the other options like Cooler Master and some of your other configurations that you might have going with your computer. But this is cool. The price point seems fair compared to what's out there. Again, $39 to $99. The average person is going to be probably more around $39 to $49 because not everybody games with a monitor at least that's 43 to 55 inches. So the more affordable models do cover you between 17 and 42 inches, which is more than enough for most people. We will make sure to have links for all of this in the description below, so definitely make sure to check that out, as well as maybe on POCnetwork.net, where we'll probably talk about this later on. If so, we will definitely have a link to that as well. If you liked what you've seen here, don't forget to subscribe below and follow us. We have many more videos to come, and of course, use the comments section to talk about this. Maybe you have the Lytmi strip on your computer, or maybe you have it on your TV and you're wondering, hey, maybe I want that on my monitor as well. Definitely use the comments to discuss it amongst each other and us if you have questions or anything of the sort. So use those comments, subscribe to us, and as always, we thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. If you want to stay on top of all the latest and greatest, and or at least the gadgets we cover, remember to subscribe right here. Subscription button. Click it. You're going to want to. There's lots of videos, interviews, previews, all sorts of stuff. Button. Click it.